Well, it's been about 2 months or so since you were here last, and I'm hoping you've had a chance to use some of the tools and strategies that you learned during our conversation about difficult conversations with difficult people. I'm hoping that you have been able to recognize how important it is that when you speak with each other, especially in times when you feel particularly tense and stressed, that you recognize that we always go into these conversations with an idea about, I got to get my story across, and that we have a lot of emotional investment in telling our story. And just as much as we have investment in telling our story, so does the other person. We fail to realize that each story, your story and our story, is very important. The real important story is the story. And the story can come only when we recognize that it is more important that we come together and we create a compromise in the environment that would suggest that the story is what we are going for. Oftentimes what gets in our way is our own ego. We recognize that we need to feel important. We need to feel interpreted correctly. We need to feel that we have the respect of others. We need to feel that we actually have the respect of self. We don't realize that probably what gets in our own way is our own way. That we don't recognize that we are lovable, that we are worthy and deserving of respect, not only from others, but from ourselves as well. We don't realize that we are important, we are necessary, and we are vital. We really don't realize that we have the power. We know, we think, we hope that we have the power to change other individuals. And we become very frustrated when those other individuals do not change. We don't realize that no one can be changed by anyone. What we do have the power to do is to influence others and to model behavior that automatically recognizes by others that we are important as much as they are important, that they are as vital as we are vital. We have that power to create that type of environment, regardless of the type of conversation that we are having, regardless of the issue, regardless of the type of person that we are dealing with. We realize that we have that type of power, the power of choice, to influence the behavior and the attitudes and the sense of self, even in the other person whom we cannot stand. I'm hoping by now that you are remembering some of those thoughts that I left you with at the end of that conference, and that you've been able to take the essence of those points that I made and use them in your own life as you navigate those difficult conversations. But just in case you have forgotten, let me remind you of what I left you with. When you laugh, you are losing the need to take yourself so seriously. When you shrug, you lose the need to blow things out of proportion. When you feel calm, you lose the need to feel agitated or to have drama. When you can look at yourself as if you are another person, you lose the need to be the only one who counts. When you feel relief or fatigue coming out, you lose the need to hold on to stress. And when you have the feeling of letting go, you lose the need to be vindicated. The possibility of forgiveness is in sight. And with all forgiveness comes power and comes possibility. Finally, when you suddenly realize that the other person may be right, you lose the need to judge. If you don't learn anything else out of the conversation that we are having right now, and the one that you had before in that session, I hope you recognize that you are learning how to be human, and that only when you master the art of being human can you become a human being.